Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
The Sphere Network. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today at advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Baptiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680.
What's up, people? Welcome back to Technocrats, where we talk about the ins and outs of technology to empower the digital you. I am your host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. And I'm with the lovely Skyped in Ari McKinney. Ari, what's up?
Hello, hello.
How's everything going over there in Skype world?
You know, Skype world is okay.
Skype world is Skype world.
Wish I was in studio, but you know how it goes sometimes.
We do, but your audio is crystal clear. Sounds like you're actually here. I'm for it.
Good. I'm glad. Thank you all, for everyone that is tuning in. Thank you for tuning in today. You can find me on social media at Dish with Ari, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram.
Good deal. And I want to say what's up to all the people out on Facebook right now. Facebook Livers, hey, we love you. We support y'all. And thank you for supporting us. Make sure you drop any questions that you've got. And, of course, we only go for the first 15 minutes. So, please, folks, please don't get left out in the dust. We've got to have you go subscribe after the show because we don't play games here, Ari. Am I right?
Nah, we do
no
not.
games
We
played.
cut it off.
No games played because it's about the tech. We're talking tech. We're doing stuff live in studio. We've got our intern rocking the boards right now, so we're gonna have an exciting show. I'm gonna throw a few curveballs her way. Shout out to Say over at TSU. We're gonna throw a few curveballs, but we're gonna get this thing popping right now. For those that are tuned in, let's start with a little bit of Mobility Weekly. So, Mobility Weekly is when we're talking all things mobile, all things tablet-based. We're talking about the handsets, things that you take around with you when it comes to technology. And one of the things that we kind of touched on a little bit, I think this was probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a little bit more, was the release of some new handsets. One of the handsets in particular that we talked about was the Google Pixel 3. And with that, obviously, this is one of the premier Android phones that hits the market every year, simply because Google is always going to make the clearest, cleanest, purest piece of hardware for their platform since they make Android. With that, they decided to give us a nice device called the Pixel 3. Now, with that, and I want to make sure that we are spot on, and Ari, that is for our Google messaging. So flip over to the Pixel 3, the first article there from The Verge. We're going to dive deep into this for those that are tuned in. We're hoping and praying, Ari McKinney, this isn't for you because you may not get a chance to enjoy this, but we're hoping and praying that they bring about this new app that's going to be awesome, and it's called Night Sight. they've embedded this super night vision for their Pixel 3. And when I tell you this is going to be I guess a game changer, I'm talking about the ability to take photos at night and actually in software have the ability to get the viewing angles and the how shall I say this, the aperture openings that you would normally in hardware to get a almost crystal clear picture without any light. And for those that are tuned in right now, we've got some images up on this article where you can actually see some of the photos that have been taken at night, and you can see a before and after with this night sight vision as it's enabled. And it's just a little bit further down or for those that are tuned in, we've got the video playing for you. We're going to be able to see that. And the item that he's holding right now is the Pixel 3, the one that Dieter's talking about from The Verge. And they're taking these photos at night and then showing you what they look like with this night vision mode enabled. Ari, how often are you taking photos with your iPhone at night and you wish you could get a little bit better clarity?
Yeah, I'm gonna admit, like that's one of my issues with the iPhone. I've long felt like we should have better cameras. Now, my friends who have gone for the XS and the XR, I mean, it's a pretty incredible difference from before, but considering that's not what we're actually talking about right now. I think I agree. Android has been way above the curve in terms of iPhones. I mean, compared to iPhones, Android has had the camera market on lock for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. A lot of people may not realize this, but in your iPhones right now, that's Samsung Glass. That's Samsung Optics. That's in that iPhone. So, of course, you're going to have that the same, if not better. It all comes back to software at this point. And Google's actually not necessarily making modifications to the hardware to give you this type of clarity. What they're doing is they're using artificial intelligence to make assumptions about where certain light should be based on the image so that they can actually brighten the whole image up. This is why artificial intelligence is so important when we're talking about technology and what we have here moving forward, because you can do things like this that you could never do before when it came to imaging, let alone creating different escapes. Now, what's your thoughts? You think this is something that may roll to Apple at some point? Do you think they're going to come up, because let's just keep it a buck. They trail, like you said, Android often, and when Android drops a feature, then you'll see iPhone, or Apple release that for iOS at some point. Do you think this will be something that they're going to look forward to doing?
I think eventually they're going to have to. If they want to compete, they're going to really have to take a look at the state of the quality of their camera technology. And as it stands right now, and look at what Android is doing and say, and I think this is the thing that turns people away from Apple, is that they literally, I feel this way too, and I'm an Apple enthusiast, but I've told you where my enthusiasm lies for Apple. It's the ease of talking to one another, and it's a little bit bigger than just getting a phone for me. But if we're just talking about that, if I were just a phone consumer, I wouldn't get an Apple phone.
It's about the ecosystem for you, is what you're saying.
It's the ecosystem situation for me. It's not a particular device thing, because there are better devices, and I will admit that. I am too very annoyed by the fact that it seems that Apple seems to wait until an Android feature has either picked up a lot of steam or died out to decide whether they want to pick it up, and then they repackage it and call it this whole new thing when it's really something that other people have had for a long time. And I am annoyed by that. But I think for me, like I said, it's an ecosystem thing. So, to answer your question, I do think they're going to have to catch up, and they're going to have to eventually change that up like they've done with a lot of things. I mean, let's be honest. We waited 8 years to get a group FaceTime.
Yo. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
and here's and part of that it goes back to bandwidth, right? And we kind of talked about that. Like it's always the question of what comes first, the hardware or the software. We'll get things that we can't implement because there are other things that we're really waiting on. And
Right.
I remember the first time I tried FaceTime because I was an Apple iPhone user for years. Line stand, stood in all the lines. It just what it was. But you really couldn't use FaceTime back in the 3GS days when the iPhone came out, even the iPhone 4, unless you were on Wi-Fi. And even still with Wi-Fi, it wasn't perfect. Whereas
No.
now it's a daily use. Like some people prefer to talk over FaceTime audio or FaceTime video more than they talk over regular cellular, which is cool.
That's
But
crazy to me, but it's
huh?
cool.
What'd you say?
I said that's crazy to me, but it's cool.
Yeah, this is whatever they want to do. Now, we do have
Whatever.
Monique in the chat. Monique, what's up? We see you in our Facebook Live right now. She makes mention that are we talking about a merger on some level? No, I don't think there will never be a merger. But
No.
we're definitely talking about, as you mentioned, Monique, the enhancement of drones. Yes, drones having better artificial intelligence that can see better at night. All these things are necessary, as well as this type of technology is going to be useful in autonomous vehicles, because that's something big. And driving at night and being able to see things that normal cameras can't pick up, that's exponentially important, right? That's important on a whole nother level.
Yeah, and Monique also wants to know if I'm going to convert. Probably never, Monique. Here's the thing. It's a for me to convert, it wouldn't be as simple as me just changing my cell phone. Like it would be me changing the laptop, the iPads. Like my whole life is an iOS based situation, and it would just be for me too much of an overhaul, which I think, I mean, if I got to a point where I was really adamant about it, yeah, but I mean, I'm happy with the way Apple works as an ecosystem. Could they up their individual game on their individual devices? Yes, for sure, totally agree with that. But as an ecosystem, I can't. To me, not no other system talks to one another as good as that does. So I'm probably not going to change anytime soon.
I feel you. I feel you. Great question, Monique. Definitely a great question.
Very good
So
question, though.
we shall see. We shall see how how this goes. So we'll see what comes down the pipe from this. And speaking of seeing what comes down the pipe, we want to see some things coming down the pipe here by way of advertising at the Spheres. So let's have a conversation about it. So, are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send us an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
Yeah.
There it is. So let's keep this party rolling. And since we're talking about Google, all right, let's stay in this. Since we're in our Mobility Weekly, we're talking about the handsets of handsets. Let's rock out with them. One of the things that I'm talking top 10 apps on my phone, and I don't know how you feel about this, but top 10 apps on my phone, one app has been there since inception, and that's been Google Maps. I would use Google Maps at least weekly, right? Especially depending on, and I'm talking over the last decade plus of having a phone. I've been using Google Maps heavily ever since its conception, and it is a staple piece because of the amount of information it gives. One of the things in particular that's just come down the pipe is the fact that you can now do messaging inside of Google Maps. So let's take a look at this article here from BGR. And they talk a little bit about the fact that you can bring about great messaging and bring about a whole new experience inside Google Maps. So first and foremost, they rolled in the Yep-like feature so you could do some research. And of
Right.
course, you've got the ETA feature now where you can actually share out what time, based on Google Maps, that you expect it to get to your destination. So you can send that to your family or friends if you're meeting them out somewhere or something along those lines. But now to be able to roll in a messaging option. And let me tell you what this is like, right? So let's say you're in an environment, and I think this article makes a great mention, and you're headed to a bakery, right? And you want to pick up something, and you're not getting really good cellular reception inside the bus, but you've got internet access, right? Or let's say you're on Wi-Fi somewhere, you have no cellular coverage. Well, you can send a message to the company to ask if they've got that particular cupcake or that particular product or service or whatever the case is in stock. And now you can have these direct to from consumer to business conversations right inside Google Maps, which opens up the opportunity to, one, schedule orders a lot better. But like I said, two, check on inventory, things that you need and you want to get a quick response versus having to call, wait on hold, deal with some type of answering service. Let me just shoot a quick message. And when they hit me back and it's on demand, I'll get that message back and I'm able to proceed as needed. Ari, how do you feel about them wrapping in the idea of messaging into Google Maps? Do you think this is beneficial?
I think it's beneficial, but to some extent, it just seems like a bit of a minor extension to like the share your location or pinning, like in Apple and iOS. Like for me, the most, I guess, relative comparison that I can personally say to it is like, a friend of mine last weekend saying like, we're going to go to this party and sharing the location through Apple Maps and being like, this is my location. And then me being able to track that if he moves. So I know exactly where to go at all times. So ultimately, a lot of this stuff to me feels like a lot of feeding off of one another and just trying to like one up the other on this. I love the idea. I just don't feel like it's not a mind-blowing concept to me because it just seems like a variation of what's out there, but I like it.
Yeah, and like I said, the ETA stuff is been in Google Maps for a long time. Well, not a long time, but it's been there. This new piece is being able to have conversations with the businesses, which is something they've never done before, which is something we do on Yelp. And I'm not sure if you use Yelp heavily, but like we'll get messages here at the Sphere from Yelp, all the time from people asking about services and what we offer here as a network or as a studio. But now if I wanted to pick up, and I don't mind saying because I think they've got great food. If I want to pick up something from a local, they're not advertising, so let me not say it. If I want to pick up something from one of my favorite brunch spots on a Sunday, then it would be great if I could message in that order. They could hit me back on Google Maps directly. I could even pay via Google Pay. Everything happens inside of Maps, and now I've got my order. So to me,
so we think this is so much harder than going to a Grubhub or Uber Eats.
Well, not that I don't think that's necessarily so much harder, but I think it's going to be less expensive because now you're going direct, right? And I don't know and I'm talking about for takeout, not necessarily delivery. Because if I want to do a delivery, I still have to abide to a service or utilize their service. But I'm thinking like takeout when I just want to say, hey, I want to put in an order to go for this, this, and this. And then I can start driving. They've got the message. I get a receipt back or a response back in Google Maps. I can continue on. And even like I said, if I needed something in the moment to figure out, hey, do y'all have something in stock before I drive over? If I'm multitasking or I'm on my computer versus on my phone. And I'm away from cellular service. So I'm just thinking of ways that messaging could work. Now the flip side, now walk with me on this. After I've made this connection with the business, I wonder how they're going to advertise to me, right? So when they got a sale going on, are they going to start pushing messages to me, be like, oh, you bought something last week, we've got a sale. And now I'm getting messages in Google Maps.
They are, because quite frankly, absolutely are. And the thing about it is, I mean, like I said, they're not doing anything innovative. So, I mean, yeah, that's that's at the end. That's their end game at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned. Um, to me, the $2 that I pay for a delivery fee to go through Uber Eats or Grubhub is worth it.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah,
You
I
know what I
hear
mean?
that.
Like I don't need to interact. Like I don't necessarily want to do all that.
I got you. You say
You know what I
keep
mean?
it
Like I don't
simple and
want to do
sweet.
all that. I don't want to talk to my. I want to like order it and then get like literally like I like to be able to pop back into the app and see where my driver is and how long it's gonna be. But outside of that, like I don't want to interact. Like that part of my life, I like being automated. I don't want to have to talk to anyone. I like just being like, this is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
This is how much it's gonna be. Bam. It's at my door when it's at my door. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to deal. And I don't feel like this is something so uber innovative that like people need to be clamoring or are gonna go like immediately to Google Maps from other things. Like for me, I use Waze.
Gotcha. I used to be a Waze
Like
user.
Waze to me is like better because hazards, police reports, blah blah blah. Like to me, that's interaction
Mm-hmm.
at its best. I don't care for all this other nonsense. And I'm an Android. I mean, I'm an Apple person, so of course I'm not using Google Maps anyway. So for me, it's kind of a non-factor. But even if I were thinking about using Google Maps, it just doesn't seem so innovative that I need to like employ it.
Gotcha.
I prefer my, you know, and now that Uber especially is coming out with like an incentive based plan where like you can earn points to do other things. That was something that that's something new that they're coming out with, and Uber Eats is a part of that. Like you get points for every time you order Uber Eats, and it kind of accumulates almost like airline points to some extent that you
Hmm.
can use going forward. There's to me there are so like the other platforms are coming out with so many other incentivized you know business models that like Google Maps coming out and being like, oh well, you can do this now, and okay, like it's okay, it's cool for them. It's definitely a feature if you're the type of person that is, you know, committed to them, committed to Google Maps for whatever reason. But if not, I mean, I don't think it's gonna really affect one way or the other.
Gotcha.
It's
Well,
cool,
that
but I don't think it's gonna be a game changer.
I hear you. Well, we want to know what you all think. Facebook Livers, let us know
Yes.
what you think. Yana, we see you in the building. She says she thinks the feature
Uh,
will fizzle out, so she does not believe in it. And as a super moon, the feature seems to eliminate long lines and save my time. I'm assuming she meant super mom, maybe not moon. There we go.
yes,
Yes,
she did.
super mom.
There
That's
you
what
go.
she meant. All right, cool. Well, ladies and gents, thank y'all so much for tuning in on Facebook Live. But you know what? You got to go subscribe. So head over to sphere.tv/Technocrats. We've got a couple of options for you. You can find us on Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeart, Spotify. We're on everything. We're anywhere and everywhere.
All the iPads.
Podcasts can be found. And at the same time, share it out with your family, your friends, your colleagues, share with your loved ones, share with your haters. Make sure you give us a review. Let us know how we're doing, that constructive criticism for the show. And last but not least, if you want to sow a seed, head over to sphere.tv/donate. We got a couple of options. You can donate one time on the website. And as I've been preaching every week, because we're ramping things up on the back end, we're launching exclusive content that's just gonna be on Patreon. So if you want some really interesting things, some really great things from all of our shows, and we're doing All Things Beauty's got some great stuff coming down the pipe. Intermission is going to be doing some excellent stuff. Boom Bap, we're doing some great stuff. Technocrats, we're going to be doing some stuff. All kinds of cool things that we're not necessarily doing on the show. Make sure you hop over to Patreon and you subscribe there. We're going to have 3 different tiers for you all to hop into, just to sow back into us as we continue to sow into you all. Plus, guess what, folks? Got my 1+6T. Should have did an unboxing. I may do it on Patreon and do a real deep dive. I'm just plugging some stuff. We'll see what happens. Anyway, We love you. We thank y'all so much, Facebook Livers. Make
Thank
sure
you,
y'all go
guys.
subscribe right here at the Sphere. All right, let's keep this party rolling. So
Wait.
we're gonna hop into a new segment. New segment alert. We need like bombs dropping and stuff when we hop in a new segment. But we've got a new segment for you all, and it's called Gamers Wanted. So, Gamers Wanted, folks. We're talking anything gaming. We're talking about stuff that lives in that console, that PC, that lives in that handheld atmosphere that involves true gameplay. Let me also tell y'all this. This segment is a precursor to something new that we've got coming out for 2019. That's all I'm going to say. So make sure y'all stay tuned in because we got something that's fire coming out in 2019 surrounding gameplay. So I don't know about you, Ari. What does your son play? Let me start this kind of way.
What does he play?
Yeah.
Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, Sonic the Hedgehog, old school. Those are I think those are the main things that he's into right now. With a heavy emphasis on Fortnite or Minecraft.
Okay. And what is he playing those on, Fortnite and Minecraft?
The iPad or my phone. I have he's not allowed to watch things that are not educationally based during, Monday through Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I let him have his way with technology. So if he's binging on a weekend, it's probably going to be, Fortnite or Roblox on his iPad. But yeah, outside of that, I don't really let him game too much because it became a thing. It became an issue.
Got him locked down. Hey, but
at 5 years old, at 5 years old, it became an issue.
Hey, but kids are going. So let me just keep it a buck. If I would have known that the gaming industry for playing video games would turn into a multi-billion-dollar industry, there's no way I would have stopped gaming as heavy as I did in my teens. We used to have tournaments before tournaments were cool back in my apartments. We'd be up to, from starting that night at like 9 or 10, we'd have Halo tournaments till like 6 o'clock the next morning. And we were doing this either every week or every other week. And I'm 19, 20, 21 years old doing this. And I mean, it was heavy. And to know now that this could have been a career, that me focusing in on my hand-eye coordination, understanding map layout and design, being strategic in my placement for different things, because that's what this video game stuff really is, right? Those are the skill sets that you need. Being able to critically think through scenarios in a very small amount of time. Like, if I would have known, oh my God, that would be the industry that I would be in on the side doing other stuff.
But then you might not be here with us right now.
I would probably have built this 10 times over with the amount of money I would have made just from gaming.
So I think I've said this a few times on the show, but my brother is a professional gamer.
Yeah.
So, hey, you might want to get him on here one day to talk about this.
Yo, please reach out because I need to have a conversation with him.
I'll talk to him on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Yes, and I'll remind me to talk to you offline after the show about that. But
he has much more insight about this than I do. But I mean, he's the kid that, like, you walk in and I say kid, but he's a grown man now, but he's a kid to me. He's still my little brother. But he's like the retina scans and like you can't just walk in his room and the game, like, it's like not anybody can walk in there and start playing. And I didn't realize how serious this had gotten until he was like, "Oh, I'm going to this city to go play a tournament. I'm going to this country to go play." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And it's a thing. And so, while I understand that this is a thing for the kiddo. I think that was my computer. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I still have had to restrict it quite a bit because he would very easily come home, not shower, not eat,
Yeah.
not do anything, and just sit in front of there until I literally pull his cold dead hands off the
Yo.
controller. And I'm like, no, you're
Real
5. We're not doing this right now.
Real rap. Hey, I do that now as an adult, but that's a whole nother conversation. I will go home and for 6 hours straight. I'm playing Black Ops 3 right now. And like Saturday, I don't know, something happened. I was like somebody had to reschedule or something. I was in front of the TV for 6 straight hours. Like it was nothing but me and Black Ops. And
Crazy.
I'm going towards prestige. I'm just saying we're
I
out here
don't
working.
get it. I don't get that amount of time on a game. Like I don't get that amount of time on something that is not going to be fortuitous in any actual way toward me. Like
There's a
it just I'm gonna be I'm gonna real talk right now, and maybe some of the ladies out there listening right now will get it. But I'm sorry, I don't want to sit around with a dude that's gonna play video games for 6 to 8 hours a day. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I feel you. I love it though.
It has ended relationships.
It does. It has.
I have ended relationships on the fact that I'm like, you have way too much time to spend on a damn game.
Yeah. I've had drop dead arguments, and like I said,
hardcore.
Yeah, sometimes, hey, it does come to the finances. Speaking of finances, this particular portion of our show is sponsored by the Houston Housewives of Finance. So, did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 millions of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say they don't have enough in savings. Don't become one of these statistics, folks. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at area code 844-700-4463 or shoot over an email to info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask them how you can participate in, guess what, a complimentary financial literacy workshop that's going to be right near you. Houston Housewives of Finances are the new faces of the new age of financial services. Yeah.
Yes.
Cha-ching. So let's dive into Gamers Wanted. Xbox. They're officially bringing, guess what, folks? The keyboard and the mouse to the console. Now, let me tell you, Ari over here giving me the stank eye, but let me be honest with y'all. This is pivotal. I cannot tell you the amount of time that we have gone back and forth outside, obviously, of the show, not Ari and I, but just me and people, about console versus PC. There are people who love the fact that you have so much configuration with a keyboard and mouse, the precision, especially on first-person shooters, things you can do. Your build time in Fortnite goes down with the keyboard because you've got access to the different things you need to build versus having to use the D-pad and the other buttons and stuff like that. It's so much more intuitive with the keyboard and mouse at times in comparison that this will be a bonus for a lot of users who have been asking for this feature set. I'm excited. It only supports a few games out of box, and of course it's only for their insider program right now. But Fortnite is one of them, including Bomber Crew, Children of Morta, Deep Rock Galactic, Minion Master, which is dope, Moonlighter, Strange Brigade, Vigor, War Thunder, War Face, War Frame, War Groove, War Hammer, Vernomite 2, and of course X-Morph Defense. So those are some of the titles that are supporting keyboard and mouse functionality on the Xbox. But peep this. Remember, the Xbox runs Windows 10. Windows 10 is the premier platform for PC gaming now, right? So when you're talking about moving a console scenario to a keyboard and mouse for a device that's running Windows, now you're opening up the opportunity to do a lot more with that console outside of gaming. This can become a workstation to do a lot of other things that we hadn't seen yet before. So Ari, that's why I want to kind of pull you into this, because I know gaming is not your thing, but let's talk outside of gaming. Do you ever see the need or feel the need for a device in your living room that you can compute with to do other things? Maybe it is a Skype conversation with your family. Maybe it is using it to type a paper or having your child actually use it as a computer. Do you see that an Xbox could not just be this gaming console with the addition of the keyboard and mouse, but perhaps this could be another use case for the full family?
I do. And that's the only reason that I think it's even. You know where I'm going there. It's the only reason that I care. No, for me it would be a central, you know, hardware system for me to, my family's all out of state for the most part. So, times like, you know, watching my son open his Christmas presents and being able to have all the family watch that happen in real time, stuff like that. But like outside of that, I mean, listen, my son's been begging me for a console of some sort for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I have enough issues keeping him off the iPad for, the days that I've deemed that he can't be on it. So I am, it won't be coming to my personal household anytime soon.
You're funny.
But but I could see its usefulness. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Absolutely. So I mean, and I think in terms of, if it's a family or a central situation and you're gonna, do the Netflix on it and do all those things, like I like that you don't have to buy a separate thing. Like if you're like, I want to buy this gaming system for my family or whatever it may be, they can get their Netflix on it, get everything else on it. So, and that might be like such a basic thing, and some people might be like, duh, they can do that, but like I don't game at all, so I have no idea what these systems can actually do. But I think, yeah, the more, it's obviously going to be beneficial for them as a company and as a brand to offer as many possibilities and as much functionality as it can.
Mm-hmm.
Because it cuts out, having to get a Roku or an Apple TV or these other things you can. So I think if I were the parent of maybe a teenager who were able to articulate to me the benefit of doing it, and it were like, this is going to be an essential place, and all these things that you would have to buy hardware wise to be able to do these same things, we can do it through this, I'd probably get it. But just to let my son game, no, he can't expect that anytime soon.
No, I get it. Well, hey, we want to know what you all think. For the family members that are tuned in right now, you got kids at home. How do you want to utilize this Xbox? You're interested in a keyboard and mouse for it? Hit us up. Shoot us an email, technocrats@thesphere.tv, or hit us across social media @thesphere.tv. Use our hashtag Technocrats. We want to know, are you excited that you can do keyboard and mouse on this? Because I would love to be able to play with a controller and a keyboard at the same time to do certain things. Maybe even just to have certain button presses. You want to say something?
Do that though?
Huh? So
how do you even do that?
So it's just a quick down to do something on the keyboard, bring my hand back up to the controller, like holding with my left hand and take my right hand and maybe hit the space bar or another key to do something specific. I don't even know yet. Or flip it up, having my hand on the keyboard to do one thing and having my hand on a mouse to do something else. Maybe I'm driving a vehicle. I don't even know. But the opportunity is endless. That's what I'm saying. Like, and if I could be honest, what I really wanted to do, there was a program like a extra, I forgot what it was called. Xbox had created this program that kind of worked on tablets, and you had additional functionality, or it gave you some information on the tablet. I always wanted a secondary screen during my gameplay, where like if I'm playing a Call of Duty or something like that, I could have my map on my iPad that's sitting on my right there with me, where I can glance down at my iPad to get a better look at something and then back up at the screen. But that never happened. So it is what it is.
I get that, but yeah, to me it just seems like, what do you need two screens for? Two or a keyboard?
Yep, no, I totally understand. So, speaking of understanding, Understand with a smile on your face, folks. This particular portion of our show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. So, Elite Dental Wellness has a vision to create a welcoming practice that offers exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We're committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of their patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through their commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel like they're a part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable, but Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Chandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness by calling 713-789-8680. And if you say the Sphere, you receive 10% off your dental services. And that could be a big amount of money, folks. 10%. 10%, kids. So make sure y'all say the Sphere. Make sure that happens. Last but not least, I threw something in. I threw a curveball at the intern today with a last-minute article on a totally different topic because we're going to switch gears, folks, and jump in really quick to digital trends. So, in our digital trends, this is where we're talking about anything that's coming down the pipe that's pushing forward into technology today that's going to take you into tomorrow. SpaceX. What'd you say, Ari?
Nothing.
Oh, SpaceX is got the nod and Telesat to start deploying some more satellites up into space. Now, I just want to talk about it because I know SpaceX has been doing a lot of cool things lately, but they want an approval to deploy a little over 4,000 satellites previously, and now that number's jumped up to 7,500 low Earth orbit satellites that are going to be rolling around our good old planet. And they're planning to use this for, guess what? High-speed internet. Now, let me tell you why this is important. There are a lot of dead spaces around the country where you still can't get great telecommunications. Specifically speaking, you can't get great internet services. For those that have been in the IT game, such as myself, for a very long time, for people who want satellite internet, they had to deal with Hughes, which is very, very slow, like DSL, original DSL modem slow. So we're talking 3 megs, 5 megs, 7 megs down at the most. And this was an asynchronous service, so you may have been getting half of that up. Whereas their focus will now be able to give you those 4G style speeds over satellite communications. So we're talking about big time speeds coming to the rural areas that are, of course, going to be able to cut costs down and take those people in the rural areas up the wonderful ladder of technology. Are you with this or against this?
I'm for it.
Good deal.
I'm for anything that will give me better service when I'm in the country.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
I mean, let's be honest. You can drive an hour and a half and be in the country. If you live in Houston, it's not a far trek. And depending on what your career is, you may or may not be out in the country relatively often. And if you have, we all know what it's like to venture out to East Texas or something like that, in those deep piney woods and not have any reception. I think a lot of it too has to do with, because I actually had an issue and I called my cell provider about 3.5, 4 weeks ago and was just like, I'm really bothered by the lack of service in my house. Mm-hmm. And it was, oh, well, we've located the towers around you, and while we have ample of them, about half of them are down right now because they're switching into 5G.
Yeah, that's right. 5G cometh.
So, with all improvement is gonna, in terms of that kind of stuff, it's gonna come a lull. So I was like, once I said, well, okay, well, at least you're working on 5G, that kind of made me a little more okay with it. Mm-hmm. But no, anything that is going to improve reception out in the country, I'm okay with. What about you?
No, I feel the same way. Bring on. Come on, farmers. Get some internet. Hop on Facebook. Come on, start tweeting with us. Give us some IG stories about your cornfields. I'm here
I
for
want
it.
to know all about it.
Yeah, get your Wi-Fi popping. Get it all going over there with your Monsanto beans and all the other grains you got.
All of that.
All of that. But that's it, folks. That's all we got for you. This is Technocrats. This is what we do each and every week. We're talking about these ins and outs of technology, man. Make sure you also subscribe to what we do here. Make sure y'all are sending your info in. Hit us at Technocrats at thesphere.tv when you want to know more about what we have popping. Ari, thank you so much. I know you're in a precarious situation, so I appreciate you being able to make this work today.
Good. Thank you for being accommodative as always,
Yeah.
and thank all of you guys for tuning in. As always, you can find me at Dish with Ari on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat.
That's what it is. And of course, if you need to reach me anywhere online, folks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snappity chatting at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with the Z. Hit us up at the show at the Sphere TV. Use the hashtag Technocrats. We will see you all next time. Take care, folks. Peace.
Thank you. Peace out.